energy. Open your arms of love. Sorrows will be far away. Lighting of kindness will be lost to the shores of joy. Keep a strong belief to be in light tomorrow. Our loving hope is the future ways. Connects kindness, builds the nation. Fighting ourselves, fighting our rules, sharing the words of blood. Open your heart, join in the beat, unite the energies of love. We welcome new energy. Open your arms of love. Sorrows will be far away. Lighting of kindness will be not to the shores of joys. Keep a strong belief to be in light tomorrow. Future ways, connects kindness, builds the nation. Fighting ourselves, fighting our rules, sharing the words of love. Open your heart, join in the beat, unite the energies of
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Energy University Daily Live Stream and Energy Level 1 Day 2 online class. My name is Kristen. I will be your level 1 instructor for today. Before we start our class, Mr. Lee will transmit the daily energy to all of us. Whether you have learned energy before or this is your first time watching this, you can receive this daily energy as well. I will play the demonstration clip on how to receive this daily energy shortly. Please find a comfortable position, relax your body and mind, let go of all the negativity so you can receive this energy effectively. And after the transmission, our class, day 2, will resume right after that. So be ready for the daily transmission, which will start shortly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our NLG live stream. Mr. Lee would like to send the NLG energy to our beloved audience. When he says start, please look into the middle of his forehead and imagine you are receiving energy into your forehead. Just relax and let this loving energy absorb through your body for 5 minutes and 30 seconds until Mr. Lee says done.
Trong sự kiện hợp nhất tình thương kiến tạo hạnh phúc của Energy, mời quý cô bác anh chị cùng đón nhận những năng lượng an lành từ chú Phúc. Khi chú Phúc nói bắt đầu, quý cô bác anh chị nhìn vào trán của chú Phúc, hình dung nhận năng lượng từ trán của chú vào trán của quý cô bác anh chị và để năng lượng tự lan tỏa cho đến khi chú Phúc thông báo hết giờ.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our NLG live stream. Mr. Lee would like to send the NLG energy to our beloved audience. When he says start, please look into the middle of his forehead and imagine you are receiving energy into your forehead. Just relax and let this loving energy absorb through your body for 5 minutes and 30 seconds until Mr. Lee says done.
Trong sự kiện hợp nhất tình thương kiến tạo hạnh phúc của Energy, mời quý cô bác anh chị cùng đón nhận những năng lượng an lành từ chú Phúc. Khi chú Phúc nói bắt đầu, quý cô bác anh chị nhìn vào trán của chú Phúc, hình dung nhận năng lượng từ trán của chú vào trán của quý cô bác anh chị và để năng lượng tự lan tỏa cho đến khi chú Phúc thông báo hết giờ.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our NLG live stream. Mr. Lee would like to send the NLG energy to our beloved audience. When he says start, please look into the middle of his forehead and imagine you are receiving energy into your forehead. Just relax and let this loving energy absorb through your body for 5 minutes and 30 seconds until Mr. Lee says done.
Trong sự kiện hợp nhất tình thương kiến tạo hạnh phúc của Energy, mời quý cô bác anh chị cùng đón nhận những năng lượng an lành từ chú Phúc. Khi chú Phúc nói bắt đầu, quý cô bác anh chị nhìn vào trán của chú Phúc, hình dung nhận năng lượng từ trán của chú vào trán của quý cô bác anh chị và để năng lượng tự lan tỏa cho đến khi chú Phúc thông báo hết giờ.
Chú ơi, chú nghe con nói không?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Diversity Energy. Đặt lòng.
Bắt đầu.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to University. We from Orange County, California. We get ready for yourself to receiving the energy. Và xin mời tất cả cô bác anh chị em chuẩn bị đón nhận phần năng lượng hỗ trợ chữa lành. Và bây giờ chúng ta bắt đầu. Chúng ta bắt đầu. All right. Thank you for joining with us. We'll see you next time. Chào tạm biệt tất cả các anh chị em và hẹn gặp lại vào chương trình kế tiếp. Bye bye.
Okay, so that was the daily transmission from Mr. Lee. I hope you feel refreshed and ready to learn day 2 content of energy level 1. So as usual, I will remind you that we have no break in between. So make sure you grab some water, coffee, make sure you stay hydrated throughout the class. And for today, we will receive the second activation, the stem cell activation. So if you missed yesterday activation, you won't be able to receive the second activation or complete the level 1 class. Please wait for the next level 1 class and retake it. And if you decide that you want to hang around and listen to the content, you're welcome to do so, but just don't receive the second activation or practice the formula with us later. And for those that have finished level 2 or above, you're welcome to tune in to hear the lecture again, but please don't receive the activation or practice the level 1 formula with us. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so for today, we will continue to talk a little bit more about the energy source principles. I will touch base a little bit of what I shared yesterday, and we will continue to deep dive into how to maintain the +1 and -1 frequency, and also how we can connect with this energy and maintain the connection throughout your daily life. And also I will go over the benefits of receiving the energy. And after that, I will provide the stem cell activation, and I will go over the level 1 formula and instructions to practice with you. And before you know it, we will be done with level 1. So make sure that you're ready for today's contents. And let me bring up the class content for today real quick. Okay, so yesterday, if you remember, I have shared the 3 objectives of energy source. And also these 3 objectives are the goals in which energy source method is here to help resolve. So the first one, just to recap, is the wars and conflicts. And the second one is poverty and hunger. And the third one is diseases and sickness. Although these 3 issues here, they are separate issues, but they influence each other in a very negative way. So like if we look at wars and social conflicts, for example, you would automatically know that it will lead to poverty and hunger. And when the majority of the citizens are impacted because of wars, they will be poor and they will have limited access to food. Therefore, their body will be vulnerable to diseases and sickness. Their immune system won't be strong enough to fight bacteria, and therefore they get sick. And so it's important that we acknowledge these issues and we remember the issues that NLG is trying to resolve, because the moment we decide, or you decide that you want to enter higher levels of NLG, starting from level 3, you will start to see why I'm showing you these pictures and these issues at the beginning. And again, these 3 issues are also the goals of why we're learning the energy method. And we want you to know that we are here to help you. And together we want to work with you to help you build, well, first to help you improve your health. And then later to help you build a better community for our families and for the next generations. And so yesterday, I also introduced you to the 5 forms of love. And I explained why it has been categorized this way. And remember, the reason why it has been categorized this way is because Mr. Lee wants you to know which form of love that you need to prioritize. And when talk about love, I explained that there is only one type of love in the NLP method. It is the most honest and purest type of love. It is without greed and without selfishness. And love, when we talk about love, it must always be combined with wisdom and enlightenment so that it can return to its true form. And most participants that have been learning and practicing NLG for a while, they have developed this sense about love, and they upgraded themselves by applying morality and the 5 forms of love on a daily basis. To them, this is basically part of their life. It's nothing new to them anymore because they make the habit of practicing it. They understand that self-love is not a selfish love. Because yesterday I said we have to be in a healthy state before we can help others. Remember the examples that I gave you, that if you want to take care of your parents, if you want to take care of your children, or your husbands or your wives, you have to be healthy first. You have to shift that priority, and you have to basically tell yourself or remind yourself that I need to be healthy. I need to be in a good place before I can help others. If I'm not in a good place, if I still have to take care of myself, if I'm still neglecting my needs, then I'm not in a good place to help others. So make sure that you remember that. Make sure that every day, the moment that you've learned NLG method, you remind yourself and you continue to remind yourself until it becomes your instinct. It becomes something that you don't need a reminder every day anymore. And expressing love needs to be consistently. And remember, when you express love, you have to express it through your actions and your words, and not just your words. Saying I love you is not enough. And when you do that, make sure that you get into the habit of doing that as well. And you will start to notice the positive impacts, the loving energy that you will bring to everyone around you. And in NLG method, working on the 5 forms of love in sequence, in order, it's very important. So you first start with self-love. And after that, after you achieve the self-love stage, then you can extend it to love your family, love your country, and so forth. And also in conjunction with applying morality will also help you achieve the +1, -1 frequency to connect to a higher energy from the space civilization. And all of us, we are looking for benefits. I mean, we come to learn NLG because we're looking for benefits, whether it's happiness, whether it's health or material wealth, or all 3. It is necessary for us to choose, to select what works for us, and whatever that doesn't work for us, we have to remove it. It's like deleting the data. We have to remove the junk data in order for your computer to continue to work. So what we think, how we feel matters. Because yesterday I talked about when you have negative thoughts, when you let all the negative thoughts drowning your mind, not only that it impacts your heart, but also your cells, your body cells. And negative thoughts, believe it or not, it can slowly damage your body more than you can imagine. And just because we don't see it right now, so like if you're like me, you don't see it. I mean, we don't feel it. We think we're young. We think that our immune system is working just fine. So do we need to pay attention to our health right now? The answer is yes. So when you learn NLG, the moment that you register for a class, you're going to hear that we advise you to take care of yourself. And don't wait until you're sick. or don't wait until it's too late. Because when you take good care of yourself and others see your transformation, others see how healthy you are, how happy you are, they going to want the same thing. And when they're curious, when they see that, they will ask you, what method did you use, or what resource did you have to look like that, to feel like that? And then you can be confident, you can answer their questions, you can share your knowledge, you can share your experience with them. So that's why we have this 5 forms of love here, and we show you step by step of how you get the key, and how you get your frequency to match the frequency level of energy. So after you get the key, which morality and 5 forms of love, the next thing you need to do is to synchronize that frequency. The +1 -1 here, it can be understood as the Wi-Fi connection. And if you remember, Mr. Lee has been using that metaphor a lot. He mentioned Wi-Fi connection quite often. Why is that? Because it's important, and it is like the basic example to help us understand. We're not talking about rocket science. We're not talking about something that it's too hard to understand. This is like something that we use every day. And without this Wi-Fi connection, we can't be able to browse things on the internet. We can't be able to communicate with others or check out social media. So that's why we do need Wi-Fi connection to be able to do all of that. And in energy, when you have the +1 -1 frequency with you all the times, the moment you want to connect with the energy, you will be connected instantly. So pretty much like the facial recognition feature that on our cell phone nowadays. Before, we need to enter a passcode, usually a 4 or 8 digits to unlock it. But today, either you use the facial recognition or you use fingerprint to unlock your phone. And that is just one of the many advancements that we have in today's technology. And because we see that we continue to evolve and advance time after time, we need to make sure that our body, our mind, our health are ready to go through this transformation as well. We need to be ready for this change, and we need to accept the change and be happy and welcome that change. And when we think happy thoughts, I remember Mr. Lee said, when we think happy thoughts, our body will naturally feel happy. It will feel happy immediately. We start to see things, everything around us beautiful. And in contrast, when we face a sad situation, or we keep talking about things that bothering us or annoying us, over time, when we keep complaining and let all that negativity get to us, we will start to feel negative. And then we will think negative. And then from there, we will say negative thing without even trying. And all of a sudden, you start notice all the negative things will automatically come to you. It will be a part of you. And for example, you will never be satisfied. You feel like you're missing something, and it could get worse. Sometimes you feel hopeless. But the thing is, when we complain, when we talk about negative things, we have to realize the person that can shift that mindset, that perspective, that feelings, it's you, it's yourself. No one can make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. You have to focus on yourself first, because once you feel happy, then everything else will start changing. Like you will have a different perspective when you look at everything around you. And to achieve this +1 -1 frequency, a lot of us have a lot of people have shared with me that they made a lot of mistakes in the past. And so one of the advice that I share with them from an energy perspective is everyone makes mistakes, but first we have to learn to accept our mistakes, whether we made these mistakes intentionally or unintentionally. I believe we have a chance to avoid it. And if we continue to keep spending time dissecting what we did wrong or what others did wrong, or he or she should have done this way or that way, we're getting further and further from the 5 forms of love, from morality, and from the +1 -1 frequency. So we need to remember that. And we have to prevent our mind, and we need to help our mind to return to the balanced state. When we don't feel balanced, we can't concentrate on anything completely. Our mind will wander around. And imagine if your mind wander around, think about something else, you can't focus on the practice, you can't focus on the formula. So how can you receive the energy effectively when we're not focused? So make sure that if you are experiencing this right now, start with your emotions, start with your thought. Try to shift your thoughts, your emotion towards the better direction, the balance, to the balanced state, and one step at a time. Because it is very important when you learn energy. It helps a lot, and it helps you maintain that +1 -1 frequency. So you can continuously maintain this connection throughout your journey of learning it. And when we talk about the energy source method, what makes the energy source so special? Well, the energy source is given to us by the space civilization, or many of you have called it the universe. And this energy source contains new knowledge, it contains new information, it contains the energy frequency to help mankind to evolve, to transform over time. And this is not a theory, because many people practice energy, they notice difference, they notice the improvements. And they understand the concept that energy comes in different forms. And the most common one that we know of is oxygen. Like I shared yesterday, oxygen, we breathe in and out, and we need oxygen in order for us to survive. Although we cannot feel it or touch it, we know it's there. We never question why oxygen is there, or is oxygen helpful for us. We never have that kind of questions. We never have that kind of doubt. We just know that it's there and it's helping us. And so after we spend time researching, we will realize that there are so many things out there that we don't know. And when we come to learn energy, we can't assume that we know everything, because we only know a fraction, a small portion of what was given to us. So that is why I advise all of you, whether you are in level 1 class or whether you're just watching this just to see what it is, to keep an open mind and continue to keep that open mind when you come to learn energy. Because as you get higher, or if you decide to get higher and attend higher level of classes of energy and other programs of energy, and the moment that you start to implement energy, to use energy to support others, that is when you realize that there is so much more that you don't know, and it will change your entire perspective. And so what are the benefits from learning energy? From the feedback of most participants that I've heard, I've listed here the areas in which energy source can support. So the first one, it's health. Many participants have shared with me, and I'm pretty sure you have watched the testimonies on our live stream before. The moment they start to learn the energy method, they see immediate results. For example, most people, they couldn't be able to sleep and they have to rely on medication. But after practice consistently, they started to sleep better. And not even that, most people even said after they received the daily transmission from Mr. Lee, without even taking the class, they slept really good that night, the same night. And they continue to receive the daily transmission and notice results. And that is when they decide to learn energy and attend level 1, level 2, and so forth. Others also share that they feel happier. So like yesterday, I said, when you're healthy, let's say you're not sick and you practice energy, the first thing you would notice is your mental health will slightly change. Let's say you used to be angry all the time, or you have a hot temper, you get angry really quick. The moment that you practice NLD, because now that you heard we share about the +1 - 1 frequency, you will have that awareness. You will know, oh, I am angry. I am out of my +1 - 1. I need to get back to my +1 - 1 because it's not helping me. It doesn't bring me any value when I'm being angry like that. And so that is why health is one of the many benefits that energy can, bring. Also, not just people with sleeping condition, insomnia. We have participants with conditions like back pain, shoulder pain, and some of them couldn't even walk. But after they practice energy and they also receive the transmission and also healing support from others, they see improvements. They could be able to walk, they could be able to do chores, and they have shared their stories with us because and most of them, the majority of participants that went on live stream, they volunteer, they want to go on live stream and they want to share their story because they want everyone to know that if I can do this, so can you. And so that is one of the benefits that I want to share with you today. Wisdom. So after you learn energy, let's say the moment you start learning energy and you heard about morality and 5 forms of love. And we know that morality, 5 forms of love, something you read from the book and you hear it everywhere. It's nothing new. But when you learn energy, we get to dig deeper into the actual meaning, the true form of morality, the true form of love. And also, you get to hear about the +1 - 1. You get to hear about we need all three to create that frequency to connect with the energy. And with the instruction, that's how you will get connected. And when you practice the formula and you practice consistently, you practice every day, let's say you choose to practice every morning, you will notice that your wisdom will increase over time. And this is different than knowledge. So let me share. In the energy method, when we talk about knowledge, we talk about facts. But when we say wisdom, we mean knowledge, understanding, and application. We mean all three. And in today's world, when we see people, successful people, when we see beautiful people, we cherish them. We only cherish success and beauty. But then after you learn energy, a lot of people have shared that they start to see the beauty of failure as well, but not in a negative way. It's like you see failure as a lesson for you to learn to become better. And so in every class of energy, regards any levels, you will hear every instructor and you will hear Mr. Lee continue to encourage you to practice daily, to practice correctly, to not let go of your moral values and 5 forms of love, because it is the key. And without this key, you can't open the door and you won't be able to experience the benefits that I am sharing today. So make sure you keep that in mind, that if you want to have wisdom, you need to have that key, the key of morality, of 5 forms of love, and the +1 -1. The next benefit that we can receive from practicing energy method is career. So once you have health and wisdom, you will be able to perform your job better. Why is that? Because and this first improvements here that I have experienced, it varies by individuals. It's different, but you will notice that you have more energy to work longer hours. And I have experienced that. I have worked for more than 10 hours without feeling tired, and I didn't need to drink coffee or consume any caffeine products. Before, I could not do that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have relied on coffee and caffeine to help them get through the day at work. Another benefits that participants have shared is energy also helps them increase their creativity. We have had poets and writers who practicing NLG for a while, and they also went on live stream and they also share that, oh, I have learned NLG, and ever since I practicing NLG, it's so weird because I started to think better. My thoughts become clearer, and I started to write more. And some of them even share their poem and their songs with us on live stream. And why career is one of the benefits that NLG can bring is because imagine our brain is like a cell phone, smartphone, sophisticated, intelligence. So when it gets activated, it's now part of the network. And the moment you use your phone, you enter the correct passcode, you can be able to use your phone and access all kinds of information. And imagine this network gets upgraded. So remember, we used to have 2G, and we went through 3G, 4G, and 5G. The design of the phones started to change in order to catch up with this transformation, in order to adapt with the demands and with this upgrade and with this transformation. And when you decide to use the highest frequency level of Wi-Fi, your phone can be able to process and deliver information quicker. Now, let's go back to our brain. It is more complex, more sophisticated, and more intelligent than the cell phone. So imagine if your brain gets connected to the highest and latest network. How much information do you think we can learn and process? So the core technique of NLG method is to receive the energy to your brain because it helps maximize the brain's performance. And as a result, our brain has the capacity to think better, to focus better in school or at work. And many have said that before, it took me a long time to complete my workload. But since I'm practicing it, I finish my task quicker than expected. Same thing with students. A lot of parents that learn NLG, and they encourage their kids to learn NLG as well, because the kid is 8 years old or older. And they notice that when the kids learn and practice NLG, it helps with their work, like with their schoolwork, with their homework. And it took them a short amount of time to finish their homework compared to before that it always took them a long time. And another thing is that when they're in class, they pay attention to class, like to the teacher's lecture better. And they become quick learner. They learn everything quickly and they understand and they remember it for a long time. So career is one of the benefits of learning energy method. And next we have happiness. So think about it. If you have health, you have wisdom, you have career, you will feel more positive and you will feel loved. Why is that? It's because with wisdom, you started to come to understand everything from a better angle. So instead of judging and complaining about something, we use our understanding, we use our love, we use our morality to find a better solution. And also because we're healthy physically and mentally, we feel happy with ourselves. And if we're not happy with ourselves, like I said earlier, then we're not happy with anything else or anyone else. It doesn't matter if people try to make you happy. If you're not happy with yourself, if you don't feel fulfilled, you don't feel satisfied, you won't be happy. And the next benefit is values. So how do you define values? In energy method, we define values are the things that we believe are the most important, and they will help shape the way we live and work. So during the time of Mr. Lee's research and learning energy, he encountered many situations, bad and good. And he also met with many people. He also talked to a lot of people. And at the end, he believes that the most important values in energy method that will shape the way we live and work are morality and the 5 forms of love. Because when you learn energy, not only that you learn the technique, but you also learn the deeper meaning behind the 2 terms, morality and 5 forms of love. It's simply not just something that we read on the newspaper or in the book, but it's something that we must apply to our daily lives. And a person may be smart, but it doesn't make him or her moral. And if you decide that you want to attend higher classes with energy and you will want to learn more about how we can carry out this positive energy and continue to use these 2 values to help others. So that's why value is one of the benefits of learning energy. We help bring out the positive energy to others and for ourselves in the next life journey as well. And so yesterday, I have introduced the Cosmic Divine Light logo with the other 2 logos, the Energy University and the Loving Home logo. So today, I know that I said Mr. Lee will go over the details in higher level classes about this logo, but since we're talking about, the energy source, I feel the need to briefly share this basic elements about this logo and what's making the energy method unique. So during the time of learning the energy method, Mr. Lee came across this logo. Initially, it was called Trống Đồng in Vietnamese, as known as bronze drum. Of course, he didn't know the actual meaning behind this bronze drum, because when we look at this bronze drum, one would assume that it was used as the military marching drum or to regulate and raise morale of every battles. Now later, Mr. Lee has learned that this bronze drum is not for that purpose, because it contains the code to unlock the knowledge, to unlock the energy source from the universe. And the meaning of these codes, along with the stories that are associated with this bronze drum, will be explained better by Mr. Lee once you're ready to learn those. But for now, we just focus on the technique, and we just focus on how we can be able to connect with this energy. That's something that we should worry about when we're in level 1. And the rest, let's say you decide that you want to learn more, and if you're up for it, then you can register and learn more about the meaning of the logos and all the stories of Mr. Lee's learning energy journey. And you hear about the key to connect with the energy. You know about the frequency to connect with the energy, and you heard about the benefits from learning the method. And as we're moving closer to the end of level 1 class, I want to show you this slide to help you basically visualize how the energy is moving through our body when we start practice the formula by ourselves. And please keep in mind that this is not to replace your medical treatments or a doctor diagnosis. I have shared really clearly at the first day of class, this is for educational purposes only. And this is just to help those participants that usually learn through pictures to visualize how to direct the energy through your body. And so right here, you see the human anatomy image. So imagine this image, this body, it's your body. After you connect with the energy, even though you don't see the energy will flow to your nervous system and then through your entire body instantly. And it's including your brain and your spine too. And one of the things that you will experience the moment that you practice the energy method is you will feel warmth. And it's a very subtle warmth, subtle temperature. And the temperature, of course, will be different for everyone because due to the self-awareness, the concentration, the morality, the 5 forms of love, the +1, -1 frequency, and also depends on the person's health condition as well. You will feel different temperature. Some might feel hot, some might not. But if you feel warm, if you feel that kind of warmth running through your spine, that means the energy, it's working, it's flowing through your body. And the energy will reach every part of your body, including your stem cells. And when we talk about stem cells, I'm just going to give you a broad description of what stem cells are. So stem cells are basically body's raw materials, and it can replicate into different cells like blood, bones, muscle cells to help repair the damaged tissues. When your stem cells receive enough and proper energy, it will continuously renew and become powerful tools to support your body fighting diseases. And because of the special functions of stem cells and how stem cells can maximize their performance when they receive proper energy, leads us to the next part of day 2 content, which is we will talk about the formula of level 1. And after I talk about the formula and I explain the instruction of how you practice the formula step by step, then we will have the stem cell activation. And then after that, we will just see if anybody has any questions. And then we will go over a few housekeeping items, and then we will wrap up the class. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is the stem cell stimulation frequency. So remember yesterday we had the brain cells activation formula. After today, you don't practice that formula anymore. We're going to practice these formulas, the formulas that I'm showing you right now. And you can access the formulas when you join the Telegram group, which I will display the QR code at the end of our session. So you can scan it and you can join the group and access the formula. So this is the stem cell stimulation frequency formula. You see that the format looks pretty much the same. So make sure that you read the name of the formula right here, so you know which formula is which, because the format is pretty much the same, and also the color is the same as well. So yeah, make sure you pay attention, read it thoroughly before you practice, to make sure that you understand. And if you don't understand, stop and ask questions before you practice. And so yesterday I explained what ERC stands for. I will say that again, that ERC stands for Energy Reception Center, which is right here. You see the circle right here with the arrow that says ERC. And on each formula, you will have the duration section, which show you the time, the practice time for each age group. You have 8 to 12 years old. You will practice this formula for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 13 to 18 years old, you will practice this formula for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And above 18 years old, which most of us will practice this formula for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And let's pause right here real quick. So if you missed that part where I explained why it's 5 minutes and 30 seconds yesterday, I'm just going to go real quick over that. So yesterday I talked about the chicken and the egg and how long it takes for the chicken egg to hatch. It takes 21 days with appropriate temperature for the chicken eggs to hatch properly. And that is the rule that experts, they have been researching, they have been testing, and they come up with that. They come up with that conclusion that it needs 21 days for the chicken eggs to hatch. And when you come to learn energy, you know that Mr. Lee, he has been researching different time. And later, he concluded that 5 minutes and 30 seconds works best for the majority of people because it's not too short and it's not too long. And it helps pretty much everyone who never had the basic knowledge of meditation, and or even people without people that can meditate for a long time, they can still practice this. So that's why we have 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's why you see the time here. It's different, but above 18 years old will be 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's why we have the time, the duration time here. And when you go down here, you will see the note section. When practicing, keep your eyes open and direct energy accordingly. When you receive my activation later, make sure you keep your eyes open as well. And the moment that you learn energy, something you need to remember that you have to keep your eyes open when you practice. This is, yesterday I shared, this is a form of meditation with awareness. So if we close our eyes, then we won't be aware of what's going on around us. So make sure that you read this note section carefully. And right here, this wording in kind of pink, bright pink, purple, it says visualize energy from outer space entering the brain. So it's right here. We see there's an arrow to help you visualize it. And of course, we have step 1 to receive the cosmic divine light new era energy level 1 frequency band stem cell stimulation frequency. recite silently once. I share with you why it's, like this, why we have to recite silently once and not saying it out loud. Because most people, when they say the formula out loud, their mind are still wandering around. They don't pay attention. They don't focus. And so that's why when we train our mind, when we train our thought to read this formula in our head, it will help us focus better. And so that's why we have recite silently once. We don't have to say it out loud. And step 2 here is receive the energy into the brain. As you can see, there's an arrow going to the brain. Receive the first time, receive the second time, and receive the third time. 3 to 5 seconds each time. So make sure that you read this step. And step 3, it sends the energy from the brain, it's right here, into the ERC. So it's going down here. And you send it 3 times. So you send it the first time, that's 1. You send it the second time, and then you send it third time, 3 times. And 3 to 5 seconds each time as well. Step 4, continuously direct energy into the brain. So from the brain to the ERC, and continue to send the energy from the ERC down to the entire spine into the coccyx. So it's right here. So from ERC, you start to let it flow to your entire spine and all the way to the coccyx. And remember, I said that you will feel warmth, this subtle warmth when you practice. So here, you're supposed to feel warmth right here. But it's okay if you don't feel warmth right now. Everybody is different. Everybody has different health conditions, and some, they might get sick or whatever. So it's okay if you don't feel warmth right now, but don't be discouraged. Continue to practice. And I will talk about the instruction of practicing the formula later. But yes, so this is basically how you practice the stem cell simulation frequency formula. And later, after the activation, I am going to show you this formula again, and we're going to practice this formula together. And I will play the audio like yesterday. It will help read the steps, and you just have to hear it and then practice with the rest of the class. So keep that in mind, and you don't have to take a picture or anything. I will show that later for all of us to practice. Okay, and move on to the next formula is the self-healing frequency formula. You will see, like I said, same format, same structure, also same color. So make sure you read the name of the formula, which is right here. Self-healing formula. We also have duration time as well. For this one here, you see it's pretty much the same as the stem cell simulation frequency formula, which 8 to 12 years old is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 13 to 18 years old is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And above 18 years old, most of us, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is the duration. And also pay attention to the note section. When practicing, keep your eyes open and direct the energy accordingly. Always keep your eyes open. We cannot stress that enough. And right here, we're going to go through each step. So we have step 1. Also, you'll see it's look kind of the same as the stem cell simulation formula, which to receive cosmic divine light, new era, energy level 1 frequency band, self healing frequency. Recite silently once. And then we move on to step 2, receive energy into the brain. And then we also receive 3 times. Receive first time, receive second time, and receive third time, and 3 to 5 seconds each time. Step 3 is to send energy from the brain into the ERC, and we send it 3 times. So again, send the energy from the brain into the ERC, the energy reception center, which is right here. Send it the first time, send it the second time, and send it the third time, 3 to 5 seconds each time as well. And then step 4, continuously direct into the brain, direct the energy into the brain and transmit it into the ERC. So continuously direct the energy into the brain right here, and then transmit it to the ERC, which is right here. Okay. And let the warmth of energy spread on its own until alarm rings. So earlier, remember the stem cell simulation formula? We direct the energy down to our spine, but with the self-healing, we keep the energy basically right here, ERC, and continuously direct the energy into the brain and then transmit to the ERC. So that's for the self-healing frequency. Make sure that that you read it before you practice. And we don't have time to actually practice this formula in class, but when you practice the stem cell simulation formula with me in class, you will know that it will pretty much the same, but just kind of different formula, but it will be the same structure. So keep that in mind. And then next, the third formula that we have for level 1 is direct healing frequency. So one special thing about the energy method is after you practice the formula on yourself and you feel healthy, you feel better, you will have the capability, you will have the tool to use this energy and transmit this energy to help other people. But since you are at level 1, make sure that if you want to use this direct healing frequency to help heal another person, make sure that you read this formula carefully, and also make sure that you understand the person that you are transmitting. Make sure you understand their condition, because sometimes if they have severe condition, you might not have that much of capability to help support them. If that's the case, you can also reach out to us on our Telegram group, and we do have a lot of people, a lot of volunteers to help these cases. So just remember and wait until that you're in level 3 at least, minimum, to help these people with severe condition. And so the direct healing frequency formula also is the same, but the note section will be a lot more compared to the other two, and the duration is also more because we're talking about direct healing on another person. So for the duration, so 0 to 3 years old babies, we'll talk about 30 seconds to 1 minute. 4 to 7 years old, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds. 8 to 12 years old is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 13 to 18 years old, we will transmit for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And above 18 years old, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So that is the duration. Most of the time, you can help, you can use this formula to support your family members, to your loved ones, like husband, wife, you can definitely use that, but make sure that you know their condition, make sure that you are aware of their condition, and also make sure that you're aware of your condition before you transmit the energy to them. Because if you're sick, like I said, if you're sick, if you're not healthy, then you cannot help others. You have to wait until you get healthy, and then you can help others. And the note right here that for level 1 participants, you are not yet ready to support people with neurological diseases, people with brain conditions. You are not ready yet. And this is for direct healing only. So if you notice, Mr. Lee transmit the energy online is because he already in higher levels. Right now, you finish level 1, and if you want to help support others, it can only be direct healing. And later, if you feel confidence, after you practice for a while, you feel confidence and you want to help people, you can learn, you can register and learn higher level, and you can be able to do that. You will have the capability to do that. And like I said, you only support family members. And this is the category, the acceptable categories that we listed here. And before supporting, you have to make sure that you know their conditions. And you also have to make sure that you feel warmth for 5 minutes and 30 seconds during the practice as well. So Mr. Lee said a good rule of thumb is you practice the stem cell simulation formula on yourself and you feel warmth for 3 days straight first. And if you feel warm for 3 days straight, you can provide direct healing on others. And the thing is, even after 3 days, you will have to, when you practice, you will have to continue to feel warmth. It's not just that 3 days and that's it. You will have to extend that practice and practice daily as well. So don't just stop after 3 days. So remember that. And while performing, the transmitter and the recipient keep their eyes open and maintain a state of mindfulness. So both of you needs to be open, eyes needs to be open during this transmission. And the recipient can visualize the areas where they feel pain. And the moment that you transmit the energy to them, they can visualize that area and direct that energy to the area where they feel pain. And if there are too many areas that they feel pain, they can just imagine, visualize, and focus on the ERC, the energy reception center, and then the entire spine. Because our stem cells are very smart, they're very intelligent. They will know which area that needs healing first, and they will direct the energy to that area. And we also have 3 steps. We have receive cosmic divine light, new era, energy level 1 frequency band, direct healing frequency. Also recite silently 1. That's step 1. And for step 2 is receive energy into the brain of the transmitter. So you are the transmitter. You have to receive the energy into the brain of the transmitter, your brain first. Receive 3 times. So they receive the first time, receive the second time, and receive the third time. 3 to 5 seconds each time. And send the energy from the brain of the transmitter into the recipient ERC. So as you can see here, this is how we put your 2 hands on the recipient's ERC. The ERC is right here. And this is where you place your 2 hands. We have a picture right here. And you send the energy 3 times to the recipient's ERC. So you send it the first time, you send it the second time, and you send it the third time. 3 to 5 seconds each time. And step 4 is the transmitter continuously transmit the energy from the brain of the transmitter into the recipient ERC and let the warmth of the energy spread on its own until the alarm rings. So step 4 is you as the transmitter who continuously transmit the energy from the brain, from your brain into the recipient's ERC, and let that warmness of energy spread on its own until the alarm rings. So that is step 4 of the direct healing frequency. So make sure that you pay attention if you want to apply this formula. Make sure you know your condition and also the person, the recipient's condition as well, and read this carefully, especially the durations and the note section before you apply this formula. And now this is the time that all of us have been waiting for, is the activation of the stem cell activation, which is the second activation of level 1. This activation will be for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I will play the demonstration video of how you can receive this activation, but please keep in mind that this clip, it's only to help you visualize it. And you need to visualize it receiving the energy to your brain and let it flow to your entire spine. Same as yesterday, keep your eyes open. If you feel light headache or warm forehead, it is totally expected. After the activation, just breathe in and out 3 times, and you will be okay. And also relax your body and relax your mind. Return to the +1, -1 state, so you can receive the full, you can have the full experience of this activation. And again, the activation will be for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Keep your eyes open. You can blink, but please don't fall asleep. And if you can sit up, great. But if you have a certain condition in which you have to lie down, it's totally fine as well, as long as you keep your eyes open and you don't fall asleep. And again, I want to remind that if you missed yesterday activation, please do not receive today's activation, and please retake the level 1 class again. And if you're in level 2, 3, and 4, please do not receive this activation, or else you will go back to level 1. And after the stem cell activation, we will go straight into the class exercise and practice the stem cell simulation frequency formula together. So get ready, and I will just play that demonstration video and we will get started. Okay, so this is the demonstration video of how you can receive the activation. You see, you receive the activation. You look into my forehead and you will receive the activation. You will visualize receiving the activation from my forehead straight into your brain right here. You see, this is basically your forehead, and let it flow to your entire spine. And your ERC is right here. Okay, let the energy flow to your entire spine. Okay. And let's get ready. And I will let this video play for another minute or so. And then we will get started. Make sure that you are ready, and we will start the stem cell activation for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we will start now. Okay, so that was the stem cell activation of level 1. Now we're going to move over to the class exercise, which is practice the stem cell stimulation formula altogether for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I will play the audio instruction so you can hear it, and I will display the formula on the screen so you can be able to see it as well. And we will practice this formula together before I let you go to enjoy your morning or evening. So give me 1 second, let me pull up the formula and also the audio.
This is practice session to receive Cosmic Divine Light New Era Energy Level 1 frequency band stem cell stimulation frequency. For people above 18 years old, the timer will be set to 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's begin. Step 1. Recite silently once. Receive Cosmic Divine Light New Era NOG Level 1 frequency band stem cell stimulation frequency. Step 2. Receive energy into the brain 3 times. Receive first time. Receive second time. Receive third time. Step 3. Send energy from the brain into the ERC 3 times. Send first time. Send second time. Send third time. Step 4. Continuously direct energy into the brain to the ERC and continue sending it from the ERC down the entire spine to the coccyx. Continuously support the energy, maintain the warmth for the entire spine to stimulate stem cells until alarm rings.
Okay, so that was the stem cell simulation frequency formula. That was the class practice. So give me 1 second and I will pull up a couple slides to show you, and then we will wrap up today's contents very quickly. Okay, so what you are seeing right now is basically a sum up, the summary sheet of the formula for level 1. So for level 1, we practice 2 formulas. We practice the stem cell simulation formula and the self-healing formula every day. Make sure you remember that. And you can practice the 2 formulas continuously, or you can wait an hour or 2 hours and then practice the next one. It's up to your schedule. And I find it better to practice in the morning because that's when you wake up before you go to work. But if you don't have time, if your schedule doesn't allow you to do that, because a lot of people, they work night shifts, you can practice in the evening as well. And for those of you who have regular working schedule from 9 to 5, I would recommend that you don't practice the stem cell simulation formula 4 to 5 hours before you go to bed, because when you do that, you will have extra energy and it might keep you awake. But yes, it's not going to damage your health or anything. You're going to have a lot of energy. Extra energy is like drinking coffee before you go to bed. So keep that in mind. And level 1 students have received 2 activations. So I told you yesterday we have the brain cells activation, and today we have the stem cells activation. When you receive these 2 activations, you can practice the level 1 formula. And direct healing formula can be used to support family member as needed, but make sure you know their condition, and you also know your condition as well before you apply this direct healing formula. And when practice, make sure that you maintain your self-awareness for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. It's really important because I believe most of you are 18 or older. So 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and relax your mind. And if you feel distracted, let's say for more than 30 seconds, don't count that practice. Reset the timer and then start again, because we want to give ourselves the complete 5 minutes and 30 seconds, basically a way to recharge. And if we can't do that, then we need to try again, because we want to give ourselves a complete focus. And choose a quiet place to practice. Keep your eyes open the whole time. You can blink, so don't worry, because a lot of people have asked this question, that do I have to keep it open without blinking? So no, you can blink, keep your eyes open, but find a focus point or an object, and avoid using fan or AC blowing directly to your body, because when you do that, you won't be able to feel warmth, the warmth of energy during practice. So make sure you find a quiet place away from distractions. Avoid using fan or AC for that 5 minutes and 30 seconds for the time that you practice. And practice the formula as instructed. Really important. Follow instruction and practice correctly, and practice daily. And also maintain the moral ethics, the morality, the 5 forms of love, and the state of the +1 -1 to achieve desired outcomes. That is the key to open the door. You need to have it the whole time in order for you to connect with the energy. And this is another summary sheet, but more for the formula that you will receive today. First one is the stem cell simulation formula. When you practice the formula for the first time, your whole spine will feel warm continuously for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. That is a good thing. And if you feel warm like that when you first practice, then you only need to practice this formula once a day. Only. You don't have to practice again. Now, when you practice for the first time and your whole spine does not feel warm, or let's say you don't pay attention, you kind of distracted for more than 30 seconds, then you can practice for the second time. And if that second time you kind of facing the same situation, then you can practice the third time up to 3 times only. And after the third times, if you face the same issues, then try it again tomorrow. And you can do it 3 times in a row, or you can wait 1 to 2 hours apart and then practice the formula again. So it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty clear. If you have any questions, just let us know, and we're happy to answer your questions. And the self-healing formula, you should practice this formula at least 6 hours before you go to bed, because late practice can lead to extra energy and causing difficulty sleeping. So you might not be able to sleep. If you practice the formula too late, then you have a lot of caffeine. So keep that in mind. And healthy or mildly ill people will need to practice the self-healing once a day. Once a day, it's good for the people who are healthy or mildly ill. Now, if you have severe disease, we recommend you practice 2 times a day. And for support healing on the same person or receiving the energy from another person will be spaced from 6 to 8 hours apart. So let's say if you receive the energy transmission from one person, you would have to wait 6 hours to 8 hours to receive the healing energy from the other person again. And a lot of people, believe me, a lot of people have asked questions about this self-healing formula. So if you have any questions, you can either drop your questions on Telegram and we will answer it for you, or you can go on our YouTube channel, and there are a lot of videos that Mr. Lee has answered questions about how to practice correctly and all the experience that you basically face when you practice. He explained it really clearly on those clips on the YouTube channel. So make sure you take a look. So that way you understand the technique clearly before you practice. And it also helps if you want to advance to higher class, you will know exactly, because you already understand the technique clearly, you have the knowledge already. So you will learn new knowledge and you absorb that knowledge better. And so that is basically the summarize of the stem cell formulation formula and the self-healing formula. And here we have the QR code. I know I shared it yesterday, but I will share it again today. So you can capture, or you can use it to scan and to join our group. This is the QR for energy notification English channel. You will receive notifications like our live stream, our daily live stream, our online class, basically any announcement that we have. Beware of scammers, stuff like that you'll receive through this channel. And the next one is QR code for energy level 1 and 2 English chat group. This is where you would ask questions if you need any healing support from our team. You can drop your question here, and we are pretty active on this group, and we will see your questions and we will reach out to you directly. And here is the QR code for energy level 1 and 2 English channel. This is where we would post our formula. When you join our energy level 1 and 2 group, you will see that there is a bot, and a bot basically will have options, and you will see all the options that the bot offer, and you can be able to click that options and it will take you directly to where you need to go. So you need to go to see the formula, you will see there's the option for that. So just keep in mind that you will see the bot that we create in the chat group to make our job a little bit easier. And so that's a QR code. And this is the announcement for the upcoming Energy Level 2 English class. It's going to be taught by Isabella. And this is the time of the class, of the Level 2 class in English. The Level 2 class will be 1 day, and this is the time, and we converted the time into a different time zone for you already. And I believe we will post this banner on the channel and on our Facebook page as well. So make sure you take a look, and please, if you can, use the form to register, because on the form, there's a lot of questions that we really want to know from participants. Like, we want to know the purpose, the reason why you want to learn energy, and what are you looking to achieve? And also, if you have any feedback about how we can improve our online lecture or our contents, what you would like to see more, let us know. We're happy. We're going to take a look at that, and we're happy to share this knowledge with you all, because at the end of the day, we are here to learn, and we are here to make sure that everyone practice the formula successfully and correctly. So yes, please use the form to register, and do it early, so that way we know it's for our attendance purposes. So do it the moment that you see it post on our Facebook channel. Make sure you register. Yes, I hope that you will decide to advance to Energy Level 2 and also Level 3 and so forth really soon. Okay, and let me check to see if we have any question in the chat. Okay, I don't see any questions. Okay, so there are no questions. I'm pretty sure you will have a lot of questions the moment that you practice, and then also when you use the direct healing formula. So yeah, don't be shy, just ask your questions. We want to hear from you. And if you don't feel anything yet, don't be discouraged. Continue to practice. Everyone is different. The moment that you're committed to learn energy and you believe that the energy is there, you will be able to succeed. No issues at all. And that is a wrap for today's class. We are done with our Energy Level 1 class. Thank you for staying with me, for sticking around for the 2 sessions. I hope that you will continue to be kind to yourself, continue to practice. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And I'm looking forward to see you or new people, other people you know, in the next upcoming class, Level 1 and Level 2 together. Thank you, and have a good evening, have a good afternoon, and have a good morning wherever you are. Take care and goodbye.